This segment is called Property Management. And I know there are many people out there that have the fear of God and property management in their hearts, and they're afraid to rent out a home for all the bad things they've heard about being a landlord. Well, about 30 years ago, I started acquiring rental properties myself, and I started managing them myself. And I found out that there's several tricks to the property management to be successful. And the first one is to provide a quality living accommodations for the renter. In biblical terms, you reap what you sow. You get what you give. If you give a renter a crappy house and you don't repair the things that they require, you don't get the rent on time. You don't get them taking care and respecting your house, and they will destroy your house to a degree. So, over the years, I managed my own rental houses till about 10 years ago. And about 10 years ago, a couple of my friends kept asking me, "How do you do it, Paul? We have money to invest, but we don't want to be a landlord. We don't want to manage these properties." So I said, "Look, just let me do it for you. I'm not going to do this as my main source of income. I'm going to do it to supplement my income and build up an inventory of rental properties that I will use to house my future buyers." So I invented a company called Dansko Realty Property Management. Had to come up with a name, so my two boys are named Daniel and Scott, so we abbreviated them and called the company Dansko Realty Property Management. The way it works is very simply, I will market and rent out your house for you. I will manage your house for you. We will collect the rents. We will do a monthly spreadsheet. We will do an annual report for you. And we will do all the worrying and all the pieces of the puzzle that take to be a successful property manager, because I have a couple of reasons in mind. And those reasons are both in your behalf and in my behalf. I have found that there's two kinds of renters. There's professional renters who know how to beat the system by not paying the rent on time, by once they've destroyed enough of your house that they're not going to get their security deposit back, they will stop paying the rent, and eventually they'll just leave, and the landlords are out 2 or 3 or 4 months of rent plus damages. I don't want to deal with those kind of people, and I'm sure you don't either. So we have found several little what we call bridges, where at $1,200 a month we get a different kind of renter than at $1,500, $1,600, $1,800, and at $2,000 to $3,000 we even get a different kind of renter. But most of the rental properties that we're dealing with are $1,500 to $2,200 a month. Those people that are in the position to pay that kind of money expect a nice, clean, decent house in a good neighborhood and a good school district. So I will not take any houses as management accounts if the landlords don't agree to bring them up to a certain level. Now, if you saw my last segment, a lot of these homes that we're getting, the landlords were living in the homes, and they decided to eventually buy a second home and keep the first home. So in most cases, these homes are in good shape because the landlords were living in them 6 weeks ago. So we market these homes, and we have done a lot of studies on what do other property management companies do versus what do I and my partner Joe do that's different. Most property management companies charge between a half a month and 1 full month of rent to find you a qualified tenant. We charge 1/2 the first month's rent to find you a qualified tenant. That means market it, show it, take a credit application, an employment application, do a criminal background check, do employment verification. We make sure that they can afford it. We make sure their credit scores are worthy, and we check their prior landlords and make sure that they left in good terms. These are all important things. So we charge a half a month's rent. Most other places charge a half to 1 month's rent. The second piece of the property management is we will do ongoing monthly property management. We will collect the rents. We will oversee the lawn care and the pool care and the pest control and any other services that are needed. Most places actually charge a fee to oversee those things, typically 10% of the bill. So if your lawn bill's $100 a month, these other property management companies charge $10 just to oversee the lawn care. We don't charge any fee for any of those services that we supervise. We think that's a service that we should provide as part of the third piece of the puzzle, which is how much do we charge on a monthly fee. Most places charge 10% of the rent. So if your rent is $1,700 a month, there's going to be a $170 charge for property management on your account at the end of the month. We charge a flat fee of $125 for the first house and $100 a month for each house after that. So if you have multiple houses, you get a better deal. But the biggest thing that makes us different in property management is we have a website called rentnowbuylater.com. And what this website is it attracts people that are moving into town, who are coming from out of town, that they don't really want to rent for a long time. They're not part of that professional rental crowd that I described earlier. They are future buyers that need a place to rent now until they get ready to buy. So again, the website is rentnowbuylater.com, and it's designed to attract renters, and they will rent your house until they're ready to buy. And when they're ready to buy, they allow Paul McGarrigle, the real estate coach, to be their realtor. We let them out of the rest of the lease. They love that. They are a different kind of renter than the renter who comes in under one of our websites called Orlando Home Rentals, for example. Orlando Home Rentals finds renters. Rent Now, Buy Later finds buyers that need to rent now. So now you may be thinking, now wait a minute. I'm paying Paul a half a month's rent to find me a tenant, and 3 months later he's taking the tenant out and selling them a house. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, and that's why I do it, because I don't make any money managing properties. But what I do is I keep a steady supply of quality renters in your house, because these tenants want their security deposit back. These tenants know when they get ready to buy, the mortgage guy is going to send the property management company a verification of rental history. And the questions are, did they pay on time? Did they have any problems? Would you rent to them again? And these mortgage companies need these things filled out favorably, or they're just looking for reasons to deny somebody a loan. So the buyers know this, they take better care of your house, and they want their security deposit back. The renter knows they're probably not going to get their security deposit back, and so we would much rather place these quality renters in your house and let them live there paying your rent. So you may be thinking, well, wait a minute. Paul's making a commission on selling these guys a house. I'm losing my tenant. So the way it works is we guarantee you that if we take your renter out, we'll put another one in for free, or I pay the rent until we put another renter in for free. And what we found is that marketing of Rent Now, Buy Later to the qualified renters that are future buyers is a much better situation for the landlord, and it also helps me make money, which is why I do property management. I have a wonderful office manager named Joe Barnett, who handles the day-to-day operations. He is crazy in the head. He gives out his cell phone number to all the tenants. And the way Joe and I have set it up is you call Joe Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. If you're a landlord or a tenant, you call Joe Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So guess who gets all the nights and weekend phone calls? The guy that owns the company, okay? So as a property manager, I'm committed to your landlord's needs. I'm committed to making sure you get your rent monies on time. I'm committed to making sure that we follow all the laws and the rules of the state of Florida and the United States, and we keep up on all the changing laws and the property management laws. There's a lot of laws that we have to abide by to make sure we're doing it right, that your money is safe, your property is safe, we're taking care of it in a professional manner. And I want you to know that you don't have to worry about it, because I worry about it, Joe worries about it, and we take care of everything for you. So if you've seen some of my other segments before this segment, I hope you can see how the pieces tie together, where if you keep your first house, keep your second house, or just buy some investment homes, you will be happy that we're managing them for you, that we're sending you a check. Your check is paying your mortgage payments, and at the end of 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whenever you're ready to sell one of them or two of them, we will, hopefully you'll call the real estate coach and we'll sell the house for you as well. I hope this helps you in your fears of being a landlord. I'm Paul McGarrigle, the real estate coach.